some people have concept art and it's out there and okay, yeah, it's bizarre. I can make bizarre shit too. You know, I don't have to try. I could paste a bunch of fucking dumb shit I found in the dumpster together and call it art, but that doesn't mean it's art. Not everybody's gonna put a demon on their wall. It was always considered not exactly a lucrative business. You know? If I lost everything tomorrow and I didn't have anything, I could still pick up a pen, start doing out of pure instinct rather than doing what I think should be done. I think there's going to be a kind of almost a renaissance back to the old ways. I'm Adam Broadbent. I love the oils because the smell. Pouring is good too. You know, it's a fundamental part of the whole thing. So anyway, I'm really making a push to become an artist full time if I could. You know, because you know I've been successful in business. I have, like I said, the stair company, and my kids are growing up. My youngest is 15 now, so. He's going to be graduating in a couple of years. I have 4 boys. They're all growing up, so I can spend time on myself. And I think I'm in the right spot. You know, I don't know all the savvy stuff about getting out there and put my name out there yet. You know how to do that. You know, but my paintings take a long time. Some people do their paintings in I could do them in a minute too, but the result is not going to be what I wanted, you know. Although I feel like I should loosen up a little. I'm a little tight, but I'm getting there, you know. Some particular pieces that I have are really hyper realistic, which is cool, you know. And it takes a lot of technique to do that, but you know, you lose a little bit of the artistic quality of it. When I was younger, I was big into fantasy art. You know, dragons, and, you know, mystical stuff, and I kind of still like it, but you kind of caught between what do you think people will be willing to put on their walls and what's art, right? So it becomes pop art in a way, you know, which is okay, you know, but not everybody's going to put a demon on their wall, right? You know, I like the old Renaissance masters of, you know, the allegories of sin and virtue and, you know, things that will grab you in life and bring you down or bring you up, or just things like that really stand out to me. And obviously the beauty of those Renaissance paintings. I mean, it took Da Vinci, I read it the other day, I think it was 16 years to do the Mona Lisa. 16 years, wow. Yeah, to completely finish the Mona Lisa. Holy shit. That's a long time, you know? I mean, if I spent 16 years on a painting, it might be beautiful. But, I mean, how do you not overwork such a thing? But they had, you know, they had techniques and glazes and this and that. And I don't know how many people might have worked on it besides him, because they had apprentices, and they would sit there and they would learn by, you know, I need you to put color in here. You know, and that's what they would do, you know. I wish they still had that, you know, that'd be great, you know. But art was always considered, although my mom wanted me to pursue it, it was always considered not exactly a lucrative business, you know. It can be, you know, but you got to be in the right spot, the right time, the right, I don't know, generation, just everything. You could be out of time, you know. You could have beautiful work, and then nobody's going to recognize it until you're dead. Well, that would be okay for my family, not for me. But I'm not worried about really becoming famous or anything like that. I mean, it would be nice, you know, to be known and to have, or what you would consider. I mean, to make it in the art world, what's considered successful? Sell a couple of paintings to make a living doing it. I think that's really the key. Not to be rich, just to make a living and be able to, you know, earn a decent living and do art all at the same time, you know. That's, you know, the ideal. If I could get up every morning and all I had to do was paint, you know. I mean, your photography is your thing?
I paint too.
Oh, you're a painter
I
too.
painted
You're
for
also an
12
artist.
years.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you paint?
Well, I used to do realism too, but
Yeah.
as I get older, I'm doing more like surrealistic and abstract stuff.
So I guess that happens. You start to break away.
Yeah, there is this like thing in modern art that a lot of people say like if you don't go into something more conceptual, if you just stay in like realism, then they consider you as less like thoughtful and more like repeating the past.
Repeating a past, yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, so I'm finding a hard balance between that because I don't want anybody to look at me and be like, well, I think that camera is beautiful in its way, you know, and it's patina and it's used and it's wear and everything about it. And I'm sure that another photographer, and that was really probably my target audience as a photographer for that particular camera, you know. That motorcycle there, the BMW, was a friend of mine. That was just supposed to be a 50th birthday present, but that was 2 years ago. So I just, you know, I'm busy and life catches up and it's hard to get back, but I'm trying to be at it all the time, you know. I just spent 3 weeks on Nantucket working, and then I spent the last week working on my yard for my son's graduation, so that's like a whole month away from art. And so when I came in here today, I'm like, I went and worked. I went and designed. I also design stairs. So I don't just build them or anything like that. I'll design them in AutoCAD, draft them, and design them. The architects, builders will hire me. You know, the architects will have a specific design, and I'll have to make that work. So it's good. It has an artistic, because it's really high-end stuff. So it's, you know, people on Nantucket have a lot of money. So there's a gallery on Nantucket that I'd love to get into, and they're selling paintings for like $25,000, $10,000. I mean, I guess that doesn't seem outrageous, but I'm selling that for $1,500 around here. It's not going to sell. Nobody's going to buy it. Maybe a print, you know, but it's just people. I can't even afford my own art. I'm not going to pays $1,500 for somebody's art. It's just crazy, you know. Although you put the time, people put the time and the effort, and there's value in it. But unless you're wealthy, it's just not a game you can play. You know, it's not like I can't make art for you. You can't make art for me. We got to make art for people who can afford it. You know. Although I have bought some art from friends of mine. There was a friend of mine, Billy McLean. We grew up together, kind of art rivalry, you know. Show me what I could do, he showed me what he could do. And I got caught up in women and parties, and he stayed straightforward, and he became an artist, and he was an artist. And he was actually in a couple of films, he was acting, doing a couple of things, and I felt like he was successful. And his art is landscape. His father is actually an artist too, Bill McLean, and it's William McLean, but they're both Bill McLean. But I bought a piece, small piece like this, little. He sells it on masonite. I use masonite every once in a while. Like that's a masonite board with gesso on it. I use that every once in a while. And you sand it, and it's got a nice smooth finish to it. It's just different than the fibrousness of the. Obviously the canvas. Do you paint on canvas? Or?
Yeah, canvas. I paint like around that size too.
Yeah, that size. Yeah. Do you stretch your own?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're cheaper, right?
Large, yeah, so way cheaper. There's a place called Art Frame Warehouse, or something like that. And so they sell all these pre-mitered frames. And so you just kind of lock them in together. I'm a woodworker, so I can make them myself, and I have made them myself. But it's just easier to do it. But so yeah, anyway, so I like the two different types of canvases. But not sure where I kind of lost there in the sauce. So anyway, I do like the oil paint, and I'm trying to find the balance between pop art, what I like to do, what will sell, prints. Prints sell. Like I just there's a place called iPrintAtHome.com. Somebody told me about. I actually met them at the New Bedford Light thing. And it was kind of cool. My wife actually sent out a couple of photos that I had scanned. I have them on the table over there, and she took a photo of one of my photos, and it came out pretty nice. And they've got some good stuff. So, but people will buy like they'll buy prints. Like people around here will buy prints, and they'll put a print up on their wall. I don't love prints myself, but who can afford? I can't afford it, that either. So. So I'm trying to figure out what pieces are good, what pieces would sell, what sizes, how many to sell. I'm still learning. I'm still learning the whole field. But now that I'm older, I'm not struggling financially. So it's not. I can navigate it with some financial stability. I'm not. I can buy all the stuff that I want, all the tools that I've been collecting. I've been collecting art supplies since I was 8 or something. So there's stuff in here that's old, ancient. I've got projectors here from my mother. I've got multiple different types of projectors. I bought for $450 from this guy, airbrush set, like 20 guns, like 10 lines, the compressor. It's just incredible, but I haven't even touched it yet. I just haven't had a chance. But I'd like to. I like spray paint too. I used to want to be a graffiti artist. I kind of was. It's just illegal, But I wouldn't mind doing muralists. I could do stuff like this. The lady who runs this place would like a mural along the side of here. But then she won't. She finds it hard to pick any particular artist to do with the job because she feels like she's not paying attention to the other artists or showing favoritism. So there's politics involved in everything, And there was at the elevator used to have like this crazy mural inside of it, all like really dark. Whoever had done it, they told me whoever had done it was like really in a dark, deep depression. So it was like, felt like it was kind of creepy, but it was cool, whatever. And it had these, trees and branches, and it just felt like the whole world was closing in on you, And they just painted it over blue. But then I had talked about it, and I was like, oh, really? I said, that's a great idea. I should just do something, and just throw something up there. And I was talking to this lady over here, Michelle, and she's like, oh, yeah, well, that's a great idea. I'll talk to Melissa. I'm like, well, I really wasn't asking permission. I was just going to do it, And so she's like, so she comes back in with Melissa. Oh, we're going to hold off on the elevator thing for a while. I'm like, I didn't know it was a thing. I was like, it's going to be like guerrilla art, man. I was just going to throw something up there quick. And, you know what wheat pasting is, I'm sure.
Sorry?
Wheat pasting. So you know how they put all the posters up along streets in New York?
Oh, I think
along the board, so they'll be working on a building, and they'll have sideboards as long as you walk through New York, and they'll have posters for like theater or ballerinas or whatever, and they'll just do 1,000 of them in a row. They do that all with wheat paste. Which is just a flour, a wheat flour mixed with water, and then you just paste it.
Yeah.
So you create art, and you just quickly, who's the guy? This is the Obey guy. Shirley Shepard Fairley. He's a street artist. He does a lot of that type of wheat paste art, which I like too. It's guerrilla art, so you could get in there real quick. Basically, it's like graffitiing. Get in there real quick and out, and you've already created the art, so you can kind of just run in there. And then you've created your statement and you're out. You got to be good at it. I mean, you could be crappy at it, but she's not going to get any notoriety if it doesn't have any meaning. It's almost like Banksy. I guess they just outed Banksy. He's like 49-year-old old man. I mean, I'm 50 too. But
really?
Huh?
Really?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 51.
Oh,
I'll be 52 in August.
You look much younger.
Thanks. My mom looked young for a long time too. Yeah, so yeah,
That's crazy.
so anyway, he's an old guy, but he had great. He just made you thought. When you look at his work, you think, and it's so simple, and it's just really just a cardboard cutout, spray paint, like that little girl with the balloon, little red balloon. I don't know if you've seen it, just a little girl with a red balloon, broken heart, something like that, falling away. That's worth millions of dollars right now. That shit. And you hear about what he did though? He rigged it once it went for sale on whatever that major, auction place is. He set it up so as soon as it sold, it shredded itself. So it came down through, and he basically created the frame out of a shredder, put it in the shredder, put it in this thing, and as soon as it sold, it shredded, and then it was worth even more money after that. It's amazing, He's just...
And why do you think that happens?
Why do I think that happens?
Why do you think people buy it?
Just because it's got uniqueness. There's something everybody knows about it, or it's something, it's just, and it's hard to find. You can't, I don't know if you can create such a thing, but he did. He did.
Do you think this will be some type of a uniqueness you will ever achieve?
Oh, I hope so. Right now I'm still learning to paint, really. I mean, I still like learn every day. I'll struggle. I suck. At the end of the day, I'll be like, oh my God, I suck. I'm the worst painter there is. But then I know that's not true. And I can look at it objectively and I can say it's pretty good. But is it art? Is it art? It's crafty and it's good in its skill set and its rendering. But is it art? But what sold at that gallery in Nantucket? Shit, just like that. Just like that. That's where I got that idea from, that bottle. I bought that bottle on Facebook Marketplace for like $10. It's like it's 1897. It's an old ass bottle, So it's an antique, but it's cool because what happens to an antique like that? It sits on your shelf and it collects dust. You can't really do anything with it. That's not going to sit on the shelf and collect dust. You can see it, So I think it has a quality to it. I also have, I've got this other idea that I've seen through there, and I feel like it. I hope I'm not copying it, but it was just these marbles against this black background with the light shining through them. And I just see this, but I don't think it was there. It's something in my head that I see. So it's probably the next thing. I bought a bunch of marbles. I photographed them in the sun, did a couple of things with them. I haven't touched them yet. I got a big ass bottle right there I'm gonna do, but that one's lies horizontally, So I'm just trying to figure out my way, find my way. I mean, like I said, I'm 52 years old, I'm 52, and but I feel like I still could break into the art world. I mean, there's women who've broken into the art world at 85. Like there's some woman, some fabric textile lady I read about in India or something like that, was just doing this beautiful work. And she was discovered by obviously some designer or something like that. And she blew up. She's 89 years old. Just because I'm 52 doesn't mean I'll never blow up, right? I might be 75. But I'm not really worried about blowing up. I just want to do the right things, make the right moves.
So when facing commentaries of like the stereotypical, like non-lucrative, being a poor artist, how do you deal with something like that?
Well, sometimes you have a calling, and you can't help it, regardless of the money you make, regardless of the outcome or not what you get from it. It is all about what you get from it, because if I don't do art, I lose my mind. I do. I will lose it, everything, my whole life. And I finally realized that after all these years, what was driving me nuts. And I wasn't fulfilling a need that was in me to create. And as soon as I stop creating, it drives me nuts. It'll keep me up at night. I'll get ideas. and then it'll just hammer at me, hammer at me, hammer at me until I write it down, or until I draw it, or until I do something about it. It's like the universe is sending me shit, and I'm not doing anything about it. Like, I've got a good antenna, but if I don't do anything about it, it'll drive me nuts, you know. So I'm trying to do, you know, instead of, I used to be afraid of failing. I don't care. You know, it doesn't matter if I fail. What's failure? You know, really. If I lost everything tomorrow and I didn't have anything, I could still pick up a pen. I could still pick up a piece of paper. It doesn't matter. It's cheap. And I could draw, and I could do it. You know, I could. Like I said, I was telling my friend the other day. I said I could lose everything, live on Nantucket, carve whales out of wood, and sell art on Nantucket with nothing, and I'd still be happy. You know. But as long as, obviously, I mean, I have to have my family too. But that's if I lost everything. You know. So it's really a choice I made of I have to do this. I have no choice. You know, it's like this drive to do it, and everything I see is art in some form. You know, some kind of idea or a clip or a snippet of a concept of an idea of something. It's like you're so close to knowing something. It's almost like a sixth sense that you can't grasp. Like you got it there, but it's ethereal, ephemeral, or you can't really, you know. So I'm learning, like I said, and I think I'm getting better, and I'll understand the system. And I'm starting to realize that, you know, every studio I've ever been to, the community is okay. You know, you can only, you're only going to get so much. People aren't perfect, and I try to be kind and open, and some people aren't there yet with that. So,
when you like paint a realistic piece of painting, what do you think that's like the difference that exists of that between that and like a photograph?
Well, the difference between a realistic painting and a photograph is a big difference, right? I mean, obviously, that bottle from far away looks like it's real, but when you get close, you can see that a human did this. This isn't a print. This isn't a Photoshop. This isn't cut, paste, clip. You know, so
you're saying the imperfections make it more
it more, yes, more quality, yes, better than a photograph. But a photograph has absolute beauty. I mean, I've seen some beautiful photographs, but I don't put photographs on my wall. I put art on my wall. Although I have seen some photographs that I would put on my wall. It's not true. But I have a tendency to only want to put like handmade art. Not that photography isn't an art in its own form. It's just my appreciation is more for the technical skill of the trick of the eye. How did you do that? How did you, you know, we tried to reverse engineer it. I mean, when I go to the Boston Museum of Art and I see, you know, Monet's work, and you see that in real life, I mean, it's just amazing. Yeah. The textures and the thicknesses and just the overlays of color. But it's just, you're like, wow, I couldn't even approach his technique because, you know, I mean, even Van Gogh with the little brush strokes and the little boom, 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 boom. It's like so unique, which is cool. You know, maybe I'm going to find something unique. Like eventually I'll stop not learning. You always continue to learn, but I'll stop learning so much and start doing out of pure instinct rather than doing what I think should be done, you know. So I think there's a difference, and I think there's a calling for it. I you know, and especially now with the AI, the whole AI thing, I think there's going to be a kind of almost a renaissance back to the old ways. Almost sort of
a lot of people say that.
Yeah, it feels like it should, and I hope it does, because, you know, but we're losing skills, and I don't know. I just feel like as a culture, we're losing our ability to create on our own. And
So you don't appreciate conceptual art?
conceptual art?
Yeah.
What you mean, like
Installations?
installation art? I can appreciate it. It's so temporary. And it's like there was a girl who did she does little puppet things, and they do like she's this little puppet things circus, and she'd have them all on a circus, and they would just be dangling there, not really on a circus because they're not animated, and they just and this was her concept. And like, well, that's cool, and it takes a lot of effort, but you can't. It's not going to last. You know, that painting, for whatever reason, will last hundreds of years. Nobody's going to throw it away. You know, it's not going to get thrown away. There are paintings that are crap, made from like the 1800s that I can look at them. I'm like, these aren't good, but there's somebody still saved them. You know, they're not going to get thrown away. For whatever reason, canvas art lasts. You know, or wood panel art, or art you can put on your wall, or obviously a big giant ass sculpture that won't go anywhere. that's not going to go anywhere. You know, like this lady's got those big steel rings out there on welded to car rotors, tire rotors, with the brake scrub, and that thing will be a nuclear war. That thing will still be here. You know, so that's pretty permanent. I mean, canvases do burn. You know, so do you like the installation art?
No, I'm asking because I just spoke to an installation artist in Hatch Street. I don't remember the name, but like he has a complete opposite point of view as you. Like he think realism is kind of more like nonsense, and like the meaning matters more.
But there's meaning behind that camera. You know, to anybody who grabs it. It means their life. That's what that camera means everything to them. So I'm targeting that particular person, that means everything too. Like some people have concept art and it's out there and okay, yeah, it's bizarre. I can make bizarre shit too. You know, I don't have to try. I just make bizarre shit. I mean, just come up with bizarre shit and just call it art. I don't know. You know, I could paste a bunch of fucking dumb shit I found in the dumpster together and call it art, but that doesn't mean it's art. You know, that doesn't take any effort. I mean, if you're a painter, you understand. I think. Do you feel like that's, you know, those like, see on the corner over here, you see the painted little chair? There's right in the corner here, Christine. She owns right in the corner of the hallway. When you open the hallway, there's a kid's plastic play school stool. You know, it's, you know, and she's selling it as upcycled art. So she just took this plastic stool and she took a stencil over it, went and she's going to try to sell it for something. I feel like that's not art. That's not art, man. I could take that chair and spray paint it a couple of different colors. You gonna want to buy it now because it's different colors? You know, I don't know, man. I guess it's subjective, right? Some people really like it. You know, have you met David Wang?
No.
He's the guy who does that. You see that blue plastic piece that's on the wall? It's like all like CNC resonate, like it's all machined and it's got rocks on it. Well, he did that. He's an interesting guy. I tried to reach out to him, but he's a little, I don't know, he's just not really a social person. You know, but the guy next to him, he rents his spray booth. So he has a spray booth and he has the CNC. He seems very intelligent. And but I don't know. I wouldn't.
I like it.
You like it? Did you like it?
Yeah, I think you have a very radical point of view. I don't know.
Well, so I look at that and I'm like, oh, that's funny. It's okay, but I wouldn't put it on my wall. You know, I wouldn't put it on. I guess I have a certain. I don't know. I'm more a traditionalist, I guess, a little conservative, and I like. traditional homes with traditional type art on the walls. Not traditional, but just not plastic. I don't know. I just don't like plastic, I guess. I don't know. I'm a big yard toy Nazi. Like, my wife wanted to put, you know, like those play school plastic toys in you know, like one of those play school plastic playhouses in the backyard. And I would have none of it. It's got to be wood. It's got to be, you know, real. It's going to be plastic, you know. So that's I guess, for me, I just feel like anything that's not natural is, but it's, you know, that's subjective. You know, I mean, people go by that and see it all the time, like, ooh, that's interesting. That's, you know, I'm like, oh, it's, you know, he gets people to stop and look at it. Nobody's going to buy it. Nobody buys it, but they think it's interesting. But that's the thing is, like I said, I'm trying to find the difference between what sells, what doesn't sell, art. Well, maybe I'll do both. Maybe I'll do what I think sells, and I'll do my own art on the side. And probably that's what will sell. Is the stuff that you do that's really your own, that's really you, that comes out of you, is really probably the key. You know, trying to sell or anticipate what somebody might like is probably not the key. But who has the key? I don't know. I'm looking for it, you know.